Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. In this video I wanted to go over the week 3 assignment, and basically in this video we now want to take our Angular application and move it into the cloud, into AWS. So there are a few steps we have to do to prepare the Laughs web application, the Angular application, to be ready to deploy to AWS. Now the instructions here give us a build command. And basically all I have to do is just highlight this so we can copy it. Now be sure that this extra dot here, that's part of the command, okay? So just make sure that when you copy it, you highlight the entire command including that dot here. Okay, so I'm just going to do Control C, and I'm going to go open up a terminal window. Again, if you're in Windows or another operating system, just open up your command prompt, and from here I need to navigate to my Laughs web directory. So from here I'll do cd Laughs web, but that's because Laughs web is right under my home directory. Now if I do ls, well actually instead of using command prompt, let me show you. So this is my Laughs web directory, and right now these are the folders in it and the files, and there is no folder called dist, okay, which is I guess short for distribution. But once I run the build command, it will build and get ready the Angular application by creating a dist folder. Inside the dist folder is going to be another folder that has all my files and folders that I need to upload to AWS. Okay, so I've copied this command. I'm going to go back to terminal and make sure that you are in Laughs web, okay, and then paste the command. Now I'm going to, it didn't copyright for me, so let me just erase the whole thing there. Okay, so again, this is the command, ng build prod basepref href. So I'm going to hit enter. Then it's going to start doing its own thing. It's going to take a few seconds, maybe even, depending on your computer, it could go up to a whole minute. So I'll just wait until this is done. Okay, so now it's done, and let me go back to my Laughs web folder, and now we see here is that dist folder got created for me. This wasn't there a moment ago. So if I open it up, there's this another folder, Learn Angular from Scratch, and then inside of it we have files and one folder, and in the assets is just one file, which is the categories JSON. You don't have to worry about that. All you need to be concerned with is that now we have a distribution folder, and inside of it we have the application folder, and then these are the files and folders that we need to upload in AWS. Now the instructions tell us if in this step you get an error that has to do with SAS processors, then to please run this command. Okay, now again, this command turned out to be outdated, so I have some notes here that's probably not in your instructions yet. That say instead of node SASS, to just drop the node word and just keep it SASS. Okay, that's the difference. All right, and once you run that, then try the build command again, and it should work. Now if you, for whatever reason, you stumble and you just can't get this step to work, please shoot me an email. I can, what I did is I have this code. No, actually, wait, I have it. Well, I zipped up this folder. Actually, not this folder. I zipped up this folder so I could email it to you, and then you could use it for the next part. So again, if part 1, this part here, which is preparing the Angular code, it keeps giving you a lot of errors, and you're trying to troubleshoot it and fix it, and it's not working for you, email me. I'll send you the code, and then you could skip straight to step number 2, part number 2. Okay, so now we have our files and folders ready to be uploaded to the S3 bucket on AWS. So I'm going to go to AWS. Now I already signed in and everything. I'm using a test student account. From here you can create the bucket. Again, we're going to create a bucket that's going to hold our files. Again, this is AWS interface, so if you want to explore, watch some videos, of course do that. That's going to be very helpful. So I want to create a bucket to hold my files. Click on that, and you need to give it a bucket name. Now bucket names have to be unique. They cannot exist. I mean, they can be duplicated with other bucket names. So when you create a name, and if there's a duplicate bucket name out there, it's going to tell you that this name is not available. Okay, so I'm going to call it nd snu2, and I'm just going to scroll down. I'm not going to make any changes other than just give it a name, and then I'm going to click on create bucket. Okay, give it a few seconds, and now my bucket is created. So I have an old bucket that I created earlier, and now here's my new bucket. Okay, now the instructions say, let's just follow the instructions bit by bit. So we've created the bucket, and okay, so it says keep all public access, block all public access. So right now, our bucket, this is the one I just created, the nd snu2. The access says bucket and objects not public. So that means I really cannot access it from the internet. Okay, and that's just fine for now. Okay, now following the instructions. All right, so now we need to upload the files that we created in this Learn Angular from scratch. So I'm going to go to my bucket, and then I'm going to upload these files and folders. I'm going to upload files first and then folder. You can't do both at once. So I'm going to click on add files. Then I'm navigating to this folder, and I'm going to highlight all the files. Click open. Okay, so now they're here. I'm not going to save it yet because I still have to add the folder, the assets folder. Here's the assets folder. Click upload, get a message, say OK. Alright, so now I have all my files and folders. Just scroll all the way down, click on upload, give it, time to upload. Up here you can see the progression. Alright, and now I get the upload success message, and scroll down here. You can see that all the files have been uploaded successfully, and there's a second page. If you click on it, everything has been uploaded successfully. Okay, so close that. The next thing we need to do is click on properties, and from here scroll all the way down to the bottom. We need to enable, because right now all we did is we just uploaded some files. It's not a website yet, so we need to turn our files into a website. So we come here to the static web hosting. We need to click on edit so we could enable it, because right now it's disabled. So click on enable, and then a couple of things have to be done here. But before we do that, I'm just going to say save changes. Oh, okay. We have to give it a starting page, and by default index.html is a typical starting page. So if I go back to my files, open up my folder, here's my index page. So this is the page that's going to be our starting page. So before I save my changes, I have to type index.html, and then come down here and save changes. Okay, so now if I scroll down, now I have the link for my website. Okay, now if I click on it, it's not going to work. Okay, because I did not enable permission for this website yet. So I'm going to go back to my bucket, and I'm going to click on permissions. Now from here, it says block all public access, so that's why I can't get to it. So I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to uncheck block all public access, so now I can get to it from the internet. I'm going to save the changes. Now it says, you're giving access to everyone on the internet. Are you sure you want to do that? So I'm going to type confirm. Yes, I confirm that. Click confirm. Alright, so now let's go back to properties, and let's try this thing again. Still doesn't work. Something is not right yet. So what we did so far is we gave permission for the bucket itself, but we did not give permission for what can be done on the bucket, what kind of access or permissions done on the bucket. And if you go back to your guide, there is a JSON. Basically, we have to create a permission policy. So, yep, here it is. So we need to add this. These are basically, it's a permission policy in JSON format that basically says that we're going to allow everything to basically get object on this S3 bucket. Now what is this S3 bucket? We scroll down. Our resource is ARN. Well, this long name, ARN is Amazon resource name. this long name is going to point to our bucket. Right now it's pointing to example.com, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this whole JSON. So Control C or copy Command C, and go back to my permissions. And in my bucket policy, I'm sorry, this one here, I need to add this bucket policy that I just copied from the Word document. So I'm going to edit, and down here I'm just going to paste it. Okay, now I'm going to change this example.com and enter in the name of my bucket. So it's nd snu2. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here and then say save changes. Okay, so now we added the policy and we have public access, nothing is blocked. So if you go back to properties and then scroll all the way down to your link and click on it, now it should come up the Angular web application. Give it a few seconds. And there we go. So now you can see that this is our Angular web application, but now instead of running on a local computer using localhost, it is now running on the AWS cloud. So congratulations, and that concludes the week 3 assignment. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to help out. Thanks for watching.